Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Chronicles. And tonight I've got my two friends. I've got the mega geek Ian Diaz. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm all right.
Good stuff. And I've got C3PO. How you doing, buddy? You well?
Very well, thank you. Hello to everybody in the chat as well.
Yep.
There are people in the chat.
What are
you talking about?
I did pay some people earlier, so
right, okay.
they're
they
keeping
bots?
their end of the bargain. yeah, Russian bots, mate.
Russian bots, yeah.
So it's good to have everyone back tonight. We've been talking about it, but we felt we wanted to do a Monday night live show, and we're just gonna do what we normally do. We're going to talk about some subjects that we're passionate about, talk about the latest entertainment news, and just riff from there, really. So to start things off, guys, I wanted to talk to you about the fact that I'm going to bring up Doctor Who to start the show off, right?
Right. Bye.
Yeah. yeah. We're all leaving now. We've gone down to one viewer now.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about, first of all, let's go into it. Who is responsible for this destruction of Doctor Who? Is it a collective or is it one individual? Who do you guys think is responsible for destroying what was an iconic British science fiction show?
Over to you, Z.
Yeah.
Russell T Davies, without question. He's the showrunner. He oversees absolutely everything. And he's the head writer. So he's written most of the episodes. So everything is firmly upon his shoulders. He shaped the Doctor and the way the stories were going to progress. He wrote the majority of the stories, most of which were dire political progressive nonsense. So yeah, it's him. Get his head on the chopping block, swing that axe as hard as you can, and then shoot him twice in the head to make sure that he's gone.
Well, say what you mean.
So, what he's trying to do there is absolutely make sure that he doesn't come back.
Doesn't come back. Yeah,
exactly.
No, I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I personally think it's Russell T and his writing. In fact, right, what's been proven, I guess, if you look at the seasons that he was involved with in the 2000s, he wrote the worst ones. He really did.
Yeah.
And all the other writers wrote the best ones. And it's proven that he's a hack now because he's written most of the shooty ones, as far as I understand. And they're all awful. All of them are awful.
Yeah.
Now, there is people that say that it was the organization that brought the downfall of Doctor Who, from the Disney wasn't communicating with the BBC, and Russell T hired Shooty but didn't know he couldn't do the whole season, blah, 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 blah. But I'm sorry, I have to agree with my esteemed friend Z. It is the woke, and it is Russell T that brought the woke into the show, that destroyed something that's beloved by millions around the world. And he can go and fuck himself. That's all I can say. Anyway.
That's right. 62 years of Doctor Who down the shitter. Thanks, RTD, for inserting your genderqueer ideology into our favourite show and ruining it to the point of non-recognition. Darling, hold my hand.
Why did they play that, see? Why did they play that on this? I don't know. Is it a show?
This is the Jet 2 advert.
I know it is, but they play it in a lot of clips, don't they? When they're
yeah, but I've got this image. I've got this image of RTD going on a flipping Jet 2 holiday now with his flipping gay painting that Bad Wolf gave him after 10 years at 10 years of Bad Wolf Studios.
Oh, sheer fucking hubris.
I know. It's off the scale, isn't it? And again, I agree with you two. I think Russell T Davies, but I also push a lot of the blame on Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter at Bad Wolf, because if you remember when he was coming back with his Shooty season 1, RTD said something, and I'm paraphrasing, and he said, "You've got to be a pretty brave person to say no to me." And what happened was these people didn't say no to him because they lost sight of the objective, and they thought, we're just going to let our friend make this series without doing proper oversight. So they're collectively responsible as well, but he is the architect of it. He deserves all of the all of the criticism, all of the bile that is sent his way, because he's taken something that is so loved and he has destroyed it. And I've said to you guys before, and I've said to many people before, for any chance of this show to ever be regenerated, two things need to happen. I think it needs a decade away at least, and it needs Jodie Whittaker and it needs Ncuti Gatwa retconned. Without that, it's just not going to happen. And the other thing I would just finish off with, and I'll let you two come in, is when you talk about the first wilderness years, 89 through to the 96 and then on to 2005 when it came back, the difference was there was an audience there. They might have tuned out, say, late 80s, but they grew up and they had kids as well. And when it came back with Paul McGann in 96, they were like, oh, Doctor Who's back on the telly. We'll sit down and watch it, because there was still an element of love for Doctor Who.
Yes, when it was going off the air, it was missed.
Exactly.
And now it's going to look like it's going to go off the air and there's barely going to be a whimper.
Exactly. And I don't think bringing it back, the task is even harder because people just don't love it. That's the problem. What do you think, guys?
Well, a famous actor once came up with a 4-step plan to get all this resolved, which was sack Russell T Davies, sack Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, and sack Julie Gardner.
100% prophetic
sounds
words.
About right. Yeah, sounds about right. I just think that look, I said this in another podcast, right? For anyone to write in a script that Superman's fighting a villain and the villain takes hold of his feet, pulls his legs apart and kicks him between the legs. If somebody writes that in the script, you know what they're doing. There is no question of what they were doing to that character in Superman, which actually happened in the latest film. And also the same thing with Doctor Who. If you have the Doctor dancing in a gay bar in a skirt, right?
Yeah, massive
in a
red
freaking
flag.
skirt,
right?
In the gay bar,
right? Yeah, right. And kids are watching it. There is no grey area there. What they're trying to achieve. So this is why it failed, right? Because it's doing all that crap. That's what it's doing. And again, it's Russell T's fault. It's him that brought this rubbish into a beloved show, and he should not be allowed to actually take hold of Doctor Who ever again. Ever.
No, I think guys as well, we've talked about it before, but Robert Shearman, who wrote Jubilee for Big Finish, that was adapted into Dalek for 2005, which arguably for me is probably still one of the best episodes of Doctor Who since it came back.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And he didn't say anything controversial or really calling anyone out. All he said was, I think it's pretty much deader than it's ever been. Yeah. And the fact that Jane Tranter got her knickers in a twist about it, it just speaks to me that it's getting to them now, because they know they've screwed this big time, and they know that nobody is particularly interested in their version of Doctor Who. And
but the thing is, though, guys, when I don't know about you guys. I was brought up to believe in morals and what is right and wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's so obvious when you're growing up and you get to be an adult what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. And there's no way you could sit there and say these people that wrote for Doctor Who, what they did to Doctor Who was anything shy but evil. Seriously, it's just complete and utter
an act of cultural vandalism.
Exactly.
And it's indoctrination as well, isn't it? Those are the two things that they've set out to do. And then suddenly we're evil and we're nasty people because we want to take a stand and push back against it.
I always say this, right? We are right. And you know why we're right? Because we're on the right. So there you go. It's like, there's no grey area there. Do you know what I mean? They're on the left, we're on the right.
Can someone make a T-shirt with Ian's face on it now, please? Because that will sell like hotcakes. It really will.
Oh God!
And trying to convince everybody that the reason people aren't watching is because they're racists is beyond the pale for me. No, I'm not. I'm not watching Ncuti's seasons because they're crap.
I can't even watch Tennant's seasons now. That's how badly damaged that they've caused it. Because
retrospectively ruin the character.
every time I see that smug face, I'm like, no, I can't watch this. I just cannot, because the person, not the character, comes through. I see the actor, not the Doctor.
But don't they realize that's what they're doing? They're literally destroying the future of anything. You know, Jane Tranton wants to be in control of Doctor Who. They don't realize what they're doing is they're destroying the future of Doctor Who. That's what they're doing. You know, I was watching, what's that stupid, the Murder Club, Thursday Murder Club, wherever it was.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching it, right? And I was like, this is, I don't know whether I'm going to watch any more of this. And then David Tennant comes on and I literally switched off, because that's how much he affects me. For doing that stupid thing in the Doctor, and that's how much he's affected me now. So.
He's cultural asbestos now. That guy, he really is. He's just you just can't go near him. You can't even have a whiff of him, because it could make you ill. That's how bad that guy is now. And I think I think the trouble you got as well, these people that are in charge, I think, Z, you're right about the fact they don't care about the future of the show. They never did. And
no, they care about getting their messaging out.
Yeah. And when they also talk about the fact that they're big fans, now I will maintain you cannot say that you're a fan of Doctor Who and do what you've just done.
That's right.
If any of us got offered Doctor Who tomorrow and we said, right, we're going to make the main character gay or LGBTQ, and we're going to have pink Daleks in it, we would be going against what Doctor Who is, quite frankly.
Yes.
And
I mean, Doctor Who is supposed to be a series for everybody, not just one small section of society. It's meant to be for everybody. And now it's just focused in one particular area where there's like 5% of people who's going to be interested in the show. And the viewing figures reflect that. They went straight down the toilet.
Yeah. I mean, even if you take out the LGBTQ stuff, the writing is complete crap as well.
You're absolutely right. And I've got to say, I'm sorry for interrupting, that this is an industry-wide problem. If you look at all major franchises, Marvel, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, even James Gunn's new DC universe, it's the same problem. We're getting mediocre stories set in what looks like to be a fantastically produced universe. I mean, I'll give The Last Jedi this credit. It looked fantastic, but it had no story and it was shit.
Yeah.
And now we're at the same state with Doctor Who, and nobody seems to be learning this from every new thing that comes along, every new Marvel project that bombs at the box office. Nobody's going, well, maybe they don't want this. Maybe they want something different.
No, they know.
Yeah, and I think
just playing the long game. That's all.
I think you're right, and I think the trouble that they've got as well, their mentality is, we're going to make this show, and it's happened time and time again with these franchises, these science fiction and science fantasy IPs over the last 10 years. Their mentality is, we're going to remake this show to be how we see things. And if you don't like it, and if it doesn't work, we don't care. We'll burn it to the ground and it'll be scorched earth. That's their mentality. And that's what they've done time and time again. And every time they've done it, it's failed every single time. But yet they keep trying.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have a look at Shooty's last season, most of the bad guys were the white guy. It's the white guy. Just point to the white guy. He's the evil one.
Yeah.
There's a white guy. We've got a gold guy. A mixed race guy. There's a white guy, right?
The white guy is evil. It always is.
Well, do you know this panel was handpicked tonight to make sure that we complied with diversity, equity, and inclusion policies?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Black guy, white guy, and a droid guy.
There you go.
Now, I was going to say to you guys, I think when you look back at 2005 Doctor Who, right, I think he was still cunningly trying to put stuff in.
He was.
But I think he would have done it in 2005, like now, if the era, if that current climate then was as it is now, he would have done it then. But he couldn't get away with it back then.
Also, right, there are certain bits that in the Russell T era, especially season 1, where I cringed but never said anything. When Captain Jack kisses the Doctor, I was like, you know, I was willing to ignore it because I was so glad Doctor Who was back. Do you know what I mean? And now you look back at it and you think that should never have happened. It really should never have happened.
Well,
There's no reason for it at all.
you're
you
right,
know?
but you know, that very first episode of Rose, you know, if you want to go down there where he's putting his stamp on
Sucked.
it, within 20 minutes, he's in her kitchen and he's flicking through cards and he
Yeah.
flicks a magazine and he goes, "Oh, that won't work. He's gay and she's an alien." And that's within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So he kind of set his stall out there already. And then you had, there were lots of other examples, and maybe that'll be a show at some point. We'll just highlight every single one that was done.
You know,
But-
I didn't actually mind Captain Jack in season 1 or 2.
No, I didn't mind him.
or even 3.
Three-dimensional character.
He absolutely was. But then in Torchwood, he went from being this guy who would fuck anything with a hole to solely being gay. And
Yeah.
I think that kind of ruined it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. It did. I mean, you know what, right? He would have made a good doctor, John Barrett.
Yeah, he would have done. Yeah.
He would have made a really good doctor. It's a shame that they didn't cast him as the doctor at that moment in time. I mean, because it wasn't like it is now where if you cast a gay guy, he has to be gay in the show. Do you know what I mean? So, but anyway.
Well, it's quite interesting. Quite interesting, actually, guys, because while I was on holiday, I watched the Inside of You podcast on YouTube. You know, the guy that used to be Lex Luthor in Smallville. Which is not a bad podcast, that actually. And he had John Barrowman back on, and John Barrowman was quite frank with him, and he was saying on there, he said, everybody knew at the time, you know, he said, what I used to do is I used to get nervous. He said he used to get nervous on set, so he used to do silly pranks and stuff, but there was nothing serious about it. He was having fun. But he said he remembers the particular day, and again, I'm not defending Barrowman for this whatsoever, but he says there was the particular day where he was they had some sort of like garment that's covering his genitals, and he's waiting to do the latest nude scene. And normally you go back to your trailer and you put your dressing gown on, then you come back. But he thought, well, I'll just stay where I am for now. I might as well stay on set. So he was stood there, and he said all of the producers came down from upstairs to see him doing it, and they were all joking and laughing. And he said, all of a sudden, these people, you know, when it came out, when everyone knew about it, he goes, because I talked about it, so that's why people knew about it. And he said, suddenly they weren't returning my calls. He said he used to go to Comic Cons, and there'd be people from the Doctor Who, you know, production that would do panels with him. Suddenly they weren't doing panels with him anymore. And he said they didn't actually come out and cancel him. They just quietly cancelled him.
Yeah.
And it was the same with Big Finish as well, that they just go, well, okay, you know, your services for now, you know, we're not doing another story, you know, that's it. And that's what they did to him. So it shows the level of these people as well, the fact that they will throw each other under the bus to keep themselves going without a shadow of a doubt, you know. I mean, you know, Graham Linehan, you know, about where he got arrested at the airport. He basically put a tweet out a couple of weeks back, and he said about, I'm paraphrasing, but David Tennant had done an article basically saying that he wanted, you know, he didn't want to get involved in the culture wars, political hostility, even though, surprise, surprise, he's been in it up to his neck for the last few years. And Graham Linehan says, it's rich coming from this guy who persuaded my agents to cancel me. So it just shows that there's some really horrible people that have been involved with this show.
And definitely some sort of whisper network behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's a shame, really, because that everybody's scared of losing their jobs, and that's why they're all quiet and stuff like that. And again, right, I'd always say this again. I've said this in other podcasts. I could see it coming. I remember in the 80s, every time I got interviewed, it was always by a gay person, where it was always the BBC, and it was always a gay person. It was either a woman or a gay person. And the same thing in the 90s as well. I knew it was coming. Even in the 70s, I knew it was coming. I mean, Larry Grayson's Generation Game. Do you know what I mean? I rest my case. Do you know what I mean? It just got worse. It just got worse. Every show had an element of something in there. Do you know what I mean? Even ITV did. And I knew it was coming, but I didn't think it would be coming this big. And I didn't think it would be overwhelming where you're scared to say anything. I never
Yeah.
guessed that, though, you know.
As Brendan at the Sense Sphere, good to see you, mate. He goes, let's not go there. Captain Jack is also the face of Bo. Yeah, he's got big balls around him as well. So we're definitely not going there.
Some sort of gigantism monkey box going on. I don't know what.
They never explained how he got to that point, though, did they? It's weird.
Well, he can't die, but obviously
he just becomes a head.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'd rather die, to be honest.
Head in a tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
sat in the back of the tank forever.
It's weird, isn't it? So there you go. I don't know. Again, right? I think there's no point in talking about Doctor Who anymore because it's done. It's dead. You know. But I hate it when I hear people still being infused. I don't actually. No, that's not true. I don't hate it. I'm always amused by people who still wants to talk about something that's literally been buried and covered with earth, with a big cross stuck in it, saying, "Here lies Doctor Who. It's completely dead." Jim, do you know what I mean?
It's the hope that kills you, and I think for some people it's a case of you can't go through the 2 seasons of Shooty and then go, I can't understand why the ratings are dropped or why it's been cancelled. Maybe it was rubbish after all. No,
he would never admit that. Never admit that at all. He still thinks it will be celebrated for all his other work, and people are going to remember him fondly for his OBE or his outstanding contribution to television BAFTA. But no. Same goes with Kathleen Kennedy. You're going to be remembered for destroying the thing we love.
Yep. She should have just been
Not
remembered
for the good
for getting the
things.
tea on Back to the Future.
Just the garbage.
You know what, right? She, not taking anything away from Kathleen Kennedy, she was a really good producer, associate producer. She used to get things done on set. And before all this crap about, feminism and all that nonsense in film, she was a vital crew member to Spielberg and Lucas and everybody. She, but I don't understand what happened. Why did she decide to do this? It was never going to work. Never ever going to work.
Can I offer a possible reason for it? And it's the same with Russell T Davies. Yeah, exactly. Lack of oversight.
Yes.
When she was working for Spielberg and George Lucas and co, there was oversight there because she was working for them. Yeah. When she's heading up, just got taken on to head up Lucasfilm, she's then the big cheese at Lucasfilm, and she's got not a lot of oversight. I mean, from what I had read in the early years of it, when Star Wars was coming back, that Disney didn't, bar Iger stepping in every now and again, they didn't have a lot of oversight on Kathleen Kennedy. So they just, they went with it. And then, of course, as the years went on, we certainly found out how much oversight she has. None. The Acolyte speaks volumes. But
it's just that she's not very artistic. No, she's not. She doesn't have any talent. She
has creativity.
That's it.
That's one of the things that Russell T Davies lacks as well.
That too, but they're very good at smoozing, and they're very good at making friends in the industry and stuff like that. And also, there are loads of people out there very good at organizing, But that's kind of a talent in itself. But that's not enough in a creative world such as filmmaking or TV making. Do you know what I mean? They should always stick to their own side of the playing field. Once they get into the creative side of the playing field, thinking they're creative, that's when everything goes wrong.
Absolutely. And they tend to write about what they know. Unfortunately, what they know isn't very interesting to your general audiences.
Yeah.
And do you know what's been the most exciting for Doctor Who fans recently? You've had the news that it looks like they found missing episodes of 60s Doctor Who. That's fantastic news. After the sludge we've had for the last, since 2017, it's good to have some good news about Doctor Who. It's classic Doctor Who that I've never seen, that I'm potentially going to get to see. Brilliant stuff. And of course, this week, I don't know if you got it yet, Z. I know, Ian, you haven't got it yet, but I got on Saturday, I got the Doctor Who season 13 Blu-ray collection through. which
You beat
is
me.
a beat, yeah, and it is fantastic. It is really is. It's just Tom Baker at his best. It's proper Doctor Who. Everything about it's wonderful. Just
It's
a
funny
joy.
because obviously I've seen them when they were first broadcast, just like Z, I guess. And I've seen clips on, recently I've seen clips of Tom Baker. It's amazing. Seriously, it's amazing how these people of today cannot see the beauty in the classic Who. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not really a fan of the Hartnell era. I like the Hartnell era, but I'm not a fan of the Hartnell era. I kind of like the Patrick kind of
Troughton.
like Troughton era, but I don't like it as much as the Pertwee. For me, Doctor Who really started with Pertwee. Pertwee, Tom, even Peter.
Yeah,
For me,
Davison.
for me, that's where it stopped really in the 70s version, right? I got into it with with John, and then stopped at Peter. When Sylvester McCoy came and Colin came, for me, that was the dark days of Doctor Who, I thought, because the stories weren't focused. I mean, as far as I know, because I never watched most of them, you guys probably know better than me. I wasn't attracted. I was thinking to myself, this is going to go downhill. Didn't like his costume, Colin's costume, and I did not like Sylvester McCoy from the first episode to the third.
Really, I
when I gave
love
up.
Sylvester
Yeah,
McCoy.
I know
I do.
you do. Yeah, I know you do. I know you
Yeah,
guys do.
and again,
He's one of my favorites. He absolutely is. I just
it's
love his
quite,
mischievous charm. He actually
yeah,
reminds me of the second Doctor, but a little bit more naughty.
Right.
and you're right. And I think what I love about Sylv is as the Seventh Doctor is the fact that, because of course that was really my era where I was completely aware and immersed in it. But I think for the first season in particular, it was a slog, and I think even he would say that it wasn't the character he wanted. But then when he got into the later seasons where he did dark, the dark schemer as a Doctor, I think it really took off. And I think if he'd got another season, you would have seen something wonderful. I mean, I even heard, there was always the rumor that John Nathan Turner had said that apparently that the Seventh Doctor was going to effectively have to force himself to regenerate because he was going insane because of all the schemes and manipulations he was trying to do, that he had to do it, otherwise he just would have gone completely insane. I like that idea because he's always doing something. And again, Ian would have loved it. I didn't like it, seeing my Doctor get gunned down in the TV movie of about 400 bullets.
But that's
That
not
was
true,
you, wasn't it? You requested that. You did.
But John, that's not true. He got hit by one bullet. There was like bullets flying everywhere, but he got hit there, didn't he? He got hit.
Yeah, got
and
one
that was
one
it. He
bullet
went,
in.
Yeah, one bullet, and he went down. Right. I did look. We shouldn't really be talking about Doctor Who a lot, but I like talking about this era of Doctor.
We could have had the Cartmel master plan. What are you talking about here?
Yeah.
but
we were this close to greatness.
Yeah.
Okay, look. I watched a couple of because I don't like Sylvester McCoy, as everybody knows, but somebody told me to watch the episode, and I can't remember what it's called. Forgive me. The one where Ace beats up the Dalek with a baseball bat. Remembrance. And I really liked it, but I still didn't like Sylvester. I don't like the way he rolls his R's, and he always comes across to me as he's doing pantomime. And also a big factor in this, the way they shot it, it looked like EastEnders. And that's another thing that put me off. They suddenly changed the format where they weren't trying too hard. All they were doing is rolling out their video cameras and shooting like it was a soap opera. And it just didn't mix with me. Do you know what I mean? I just think to myself, it's going down this road that I didn't like. Now coming to talking about the Paul McGann movie, right? When I came off and I said, no, I've had enough. And then there was that announcement saying Doctor Who's back and it's about time, right? I was so excited because I saw a clip from it. and it looked like a movie. And I was like, yes, they did it. They did it. BBC put money into it. It's going to be like a movie. This is what
Oh
Doctor
my
Who should
God.
be like.
I was on CompuServe at the time, and I got this mini teaser which went New Year's Eve,
CompuServe,
1999. Earth runs out of time. Doctor Who is coming in May.
Yeah. I was so excited. And when I watched it, okay, I loved it, right? All my friends hated it, right? Everyone I knew, I had arguments with people in pubs, like 9 pubs. I've had arguments with people about the movie. And you know why they didn't like it? One, they said he says that he has an earthling mum. 2, they said the Eye of Harmony shouldn't be in the TARDIS. I agree with those 2 things, right? But think about it. Why does the Doctor always come to Earth? Maybe it's because he has a connection. Maybe he did marry, his father did marry someone that was earthling. And that's why he has the connection. And
I kind of put that down to the Doctor says shit all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Rule number 1 of the Doctor is the Doctor lies.
That's true. Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah. But I'm just saying, it didn't bother me. And also the kiss. Oh my God, my friends went on about the kiss. On and on.
He's just remembered who he was.
Yeah, and I'm like,
who he was exactly. He's excited that he's remembered who he was post regeneration. So he gives her an excited kiss, and then he later on at the end he goes, "Do you know what? I like that earlier. Why don't you come in the TARDIS with me?"
No, but also
her a kiss at the end.
Also, right. I could not tell you how excited, how thrilled I was at that moment when he was on the police bike and he was being chased by the ambulance, and then he says, "Breathe in, Grace," and they go through those 2 cards. I was like, this is what Doctor Who should be. This is Doctor Who.
Do you know what?
I was like, wow, you know. I'm excited now, you know, just thinking about it.
I had lots of people at the time saying to me, "Oh, he's on the bike doing that. Doctor Who wouldn't do that.
Doesn't do that.
Pertwee did it as the first.
Of course.
So it's like he did it in the Daemons.
Victorian TARDIS was beautiful.
Fantastic.
Still the best yet. Still the best yet for me.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Seriously. It was, in my opinion, it was one of the best things that happened to Doctor Who, because it brought in England, it brought the focus on it, but BBC was still stupid. They still don't get. How could you have, right? Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I'm not taking over. I'm going to shut up in a minute.
It's
right?
fine.
How can you have a product, right, that got stopped, and yet the toys are still selling, yet there's still conventions, yet people still talk about Doctor Who and not know that that product is worth more than gold? The BBC is that stupid. How can they be that stupid? And that just goes to show how stupid and how they have no knowledge of what they've got ever when it comes to Doctor Who. Seriously, they should not be in charge of Doctor Who. They really shouldn't, because they don't know what they've got there, and they never have. You know, I don't know if you agree.
I think you're right, but I think if anything, what they learned from that is to be even more stupid. Because I'll give you an example, right? And you're talking about toys and brands, right? With the exception of a few small things like the character options toys that sell well for collectors, right? I got the season 13 Blu-ray set through, and they got a little booklet in there that basically shows you get more Doctor Who stuff, right? I kid you not. It's 2 t-shirts and it's some pins at Forbidden Planet. You know, through the 90s, you had the Depol toys that you could buy. You could buy Daleks. You could buy obviously Doctor Who magazine. You had all the novels. You then had the Big Finish audios that came out. That's not the same now. They've completely decimated the brand from people that loved it to people just don't care anymore. I mean, I don't know about you, Z, and whether you collect a lot of Doctor Who stuff, but there was a time when it came back, and I was doing it before. I was buying everything Doctor Who related, and then as soon as 2017 happened, I just went, no, not doing it anymore. I'll get the collections. That's it.
I think that's a measure of how well a franchise is doing, is how much merchandise it has. I mean, you look at previous Doctors, even the classic Doctors, character options are still selling in mass. New figures based on previous episodes and characters. We've just had the Anthony Ainley Master released, and that's on my want list for sure. I mean, you're going to get the odd thing now and again, like I think you've got the Eve of the Daleks in the History of the Daleks set. But apart from that, and I think it's a reconnaissance Dalek, then those are the only enemies that were produced for the Jodie Whittaker range. You've got no Dan, you've got no Carvanista. Even with the Ncuti Gatwa series, you don't have a Belinda, you don't have a Rogue. I mean, for God's sake, you should have had a Toymaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't. You get beat the fucking meep instead.
Yeah.
Seriously. Look.
I mean, even
had
the 15th
Sorry.
Doctor's TARDIS that has just been released, it's 20 quid in the shops. Go down there, there's loads of them. It comes with two inlays. One is for the 14th and 15th Doctor's TARDIS, and one is the 13th Doctor's TARDIS. So a lot of people are buying this to stand in for all three. So it might very well get out there, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any new Ncuti or Jodie figures anytime soon. And I mean, a lot of the finales, when a regeneration takes place, you actually can get a regeneration set. They did one for 9th and 10th Doctors. I think they did a regeneration set for the 10th, 11th, and 11, 12, and the Jodie to 14th Doctor. But you've not had a Ncuti to Billy Piper. In fact, you've got no Billy Piper merchandise whatsoever, because they don't know what they're doing with the series. They don't even know who the character is.
Yeah,
look, it's dead. It's dead. It's not coming back anyway. And if it comes back, it's not going to be worth anything, really. That's the thing. Again, right? I think the 2000s did a really good job. No matter, I mean, there's a lot of things I disagreed with what they did and stuff. I didn't mind the romance between the David Tennant Doctor and Billy Piper. I didn't mind it. Look, the Doctor who's got off. How many years he been roaming around the universe? He's got to fall in love once. Do you know what I mean? And he did. And let's hope it doesn't happen again. Do you know what I mean? So it for me, a lot of people didn't like it. For me, it was all right. You know, I did like Clara as well. I thought she outstayed her welcome, but I did like the character. And again, one of my favorite Doctors is Matt Smith. Matt Smith, his run was entertaining. You know,
it was.
But apart from those two episodes with James Corden.
Yes. Well, no, I know. I liked the first one with James Corden. I thought it was okay. I liked him. I thought it was all right.
The second one, though, where he's being converted into a Cyberman and showing
that was
him
rubbish.
His baby, showing him his baby manages to make him stop being converted. It's like, really?
Yeah. No, but the best, you know, the James Corden one, the first one, the best scene in that whole episode, and it doesn't involve any special effects, is the bit where he's got the date with his girlfriend, but the Doctor doesn't obviously know that he's not supposed to be there. And then he's fixing, I can't remember, he's fixing something. And then he says to the girl, you know, what do you want to do in life? And then she says, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, well, you might as well just give up then, innit? You know, because you're not going to do anything. And then she gets it. She gets what he's saying. And she goes, oh, that's really clever. Trying to make her do what she's supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? That's the best scene in the entire
manipulating people to figure themselves out. Yeah.
Again, this shows that the Doctor is the cleverest man in the room, and they don't do enough of that especially in the Capaldi era. But anyway, I digress, right?
I mean, as Julie Coonan says here, I don't like James Corden, but I didn't mind him in Doctor Who. I have to admit to liking those episodes. I think I can suspend my disbelief quite far, but I can never suspend my disbelief enough to imagine James Corden being able to play football.
Well said.
But also, though, I've always said this, right? I mean, listen, we're going to go off Doctor Who in a minute, but sorry, guys.
He's not sorry, everyone.
There's always things that bother me, even in the new ones and the old ones. How could the Doctor not know what humans are like? Right? He's been hanging around with humans forever. And for Matt Smith to come in and go, what do you do? So I have to brush my teeth now, do I? And it's like, what? How long have you known Joe and, you know, all your assistants? How could you not know this? How could you not know? It's just like inconsistencies like that in Doctor Who that really bothers me.
Yes, that's it. Because you're right. Because look, you know, when he was exiled to Earth and he was working for UNIT,
exactly.
He was working with Joe Grant every single day, and he was working with humans in UNIT. But the trouble is now, And I think this is, for me, I've always thought this, because when Doctor Who was coming back, they pitched the Tom Baker story, City of Death, as perfect Doctor Who and how to bring it back. And I think, yeah, City of Death I adore, but they, ever since it's come back, they've almost tried to have this almost a lot more than the rest. They've had this quirky slapstick Doctor, which is a Douglas Adams Doctor. That was a script that he wrote. Whereas if you look at a lot of the Doctor Who, it's not like that at all. When you look at classic, you know, you've got Pertwee, who's very serious as the third Doctor. And you've got Tom, who can be very serious as well as he can be comedic at times as well. And similar to Troughton as the second Doctor. So they just missed a trick with that, and they've just been locked into that place. And again, when they brought in, to finish it off, brought in that flipping Whittaker in 2017. Clearly, she was just doing a riff of David Tennant and Matt Smith.
No, she was lost. She didn't know what to do. So then because she didn't know what to do and she wasn't given any directing, because I have someone that actually worked on those episodes and he was telling me what's going on behind the scenes, she just became Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. Yeah, that's what she did.
I heard that as well, that she was just told, be yourself.
Yeah.
And she was, and that's the problem. She was.
I'm still happy that even the TARDIS didn't like her at the beginning and booted her out into the sky.
Also, right, you know, when Tom Baker played the Doctor, he was given direction, because in those days, the directors that directed BBC stuff, they knew what they were doing, and he was told he needs to be the Doctor. So if you watch Robot, right, where he's talking to the Brigadier and stuff like that, he's a man totally focused. He's not running around. In the first episode, he puts on the helmet and he has different costumes. That was a bit comedic, whatever. But after they got over that, he was the Doctor. And then as the shows went on, he developed as Tom Baker, as the Doctor, and became something that wasn't Pertwee, that wasn't Troughton. Do you know what I mean? And he became his own thing. And it's the same thing that happened with Matt Smith, I think, as well, that he just became, he was like the Carry-On Doctor. I don't know if you guys agree with me.
He was like the Carry-On Doctor in the hospital.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But I did like him, though. I like him a lot. I think he's great. But anyway,
I think Matt, for me, is probably the best Doctor. I really like Capaldi, and I think the writing really let Capaldi down.
Of course it did.
Yeah,
he's superb, isn't he? But Matt Smith, that first scene, that scene where he walks through the eyeball, you know, where it's doing all the doctors, and he goes, "I'm the Doctor, basically run." That still gives me goosebumps, because I'm like, this guy has got it. You know, he's
absolutely nailed it. You believed from the end of that sentence, he is the Doctor without question, and you can see the life lived and the experience of all the other Doctors in his eyes. Although he was one of the youngest actors to play the Doctor, he looked like he was the oldest, like he really knows who the Doctor is.
Yes, definitely.
But I had a debate with someone the other week, and they were saying, I was on a show, and they were basically saying in the chat, they were saying, oh yeah, but I always felt that Matt Smith, he was kind of a bit gay. He was like your gay best friend. And I went, you do know he married a woman in that series, right?
No,
So
I
he
understand.
wasn't gay.
You know what? I understand what they're saying, right? And I address you too. I was watching YouTube a couple of days ago, and they had Michael Crawford on with the girl who played Betty, his wife, as they are now. And it was the first time they met since they did the show. And they were talking about the show. And Michael Crawford was saying that when he got offered the part, he wanted to play it the way he was playing it. And he was coming across as very gay, right, in the show. Because if you watch, some others do have him, when the way he speaks and the way he acts, it does look like he's very gay. It does. But he said he insisted in the show, before they started writing it, that he had a wife and a child that was going to come in the future. And that's what they did. And he said that allowed him to play Spencer like that. And people didn't question it. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's the same thing with Matt. With Matt, right, he decided to play it that way, like he was part of the Carry-On crew or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was amusing. He was very funny. But then he could also play the straight parts as well with such powerful passion. that I thought that's why he worked so well, in my opinion. But I guess everybody has their own opinions on it. So there you go.
Moving on to another subject, and it's something that you mentioned, Ian, and I think we've skimmed across it over the last few years, and it really goes into the question about, do you buy physical media or do you move on to streaming? Now, obviously, I'm 100% in the keep physical media camp.
I can see behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, what gave it away? But you picked up on the fact that, you noticed on Amazon this week, didn't you, about, was it It's a Wonderful Life you were watching?
Yep. So It's a Wonderful
Life being censored or cut.
Yeah, so well, It's a Wonderful Life. They've released It's a Wonderful Life on Amazon, and it's called the abridged version. Okay, so in the description it says something like, it's been edited for your entertainment, but it's still kept the magic in there. But what they've done is they've taken out, the scene where he's going to commit suicide, he's going to jump off the bridge. They've taken the scene out where he's actually going to do it, and then Clarence jumps in. So what he does, he gets to the bridge, then Clarence jumps in. And there are bits they cut out when he has the conversation, when they're drying out, that they cut out. So they take out the sequence where he tried to commit suicide. They literally took that out. Actually, they didn't take out the slap in the air, though. I thought they were going to take out the slap in the air. Do you remember with Mr. Gower?
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. They kept that in for some reason. So violence towards kids is fine.
Yeah.
but committing suicide is not, apparently. So
yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. But what's annoying to me, right, is that they've got this abridged version, which is free, but you have to pay to see the original version. Now that pissed me off big time. What am I paying for on Amazon?
Yeah,
where
that's
I have to pay again. Do you know what I mean?
I think I mentioned it to you, Ian, I think, and I don't know if I'd mentioned it to you before, Z, but I noticed a while ago, and it made the press about on Disney Plus about the French Connection.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they'd cut scenes where he basically makes a racial comment. It says the N-word, and they've cut it. And this is the trouble with streaming as opposed to physical media. Physical media, I've got it, I can play it as it was intended. I'm not delicate. I'm not going to cry if I hear that word, because I'm an adult. I can get past it. And I know times have changed, but I also know that when that scene was in that story, it was because of the character that they'd written and the circumstances he found himself in. And that's what they don't get now. And these arbiters of virtue that do this now, I mean, we've just had, which gives me massive doubts, and it's a nice segue into Bond now as well. But we had 2 weeks ago, we had someone in the marketing department for Amazon deciding, right, we need to take the pistols off of the posters for all of the Bonds,
How ridiculous
for all of the
was
movies.
that?
Joke, wouldn't it? I mean, what's Bond going to be fighting the villains with in the next film? Is it going to be feather dusters or what? It's just it's getting that stupid now. Yeah,
exactly right. I mean, the Walther PPK is as iconic as the gadgets, the girls, the locations. It is one of the things that is intrinsically Bond. Why are you removing it?
It's baffling, isn't it? I mean, again, what I don't get with these people, right? You've spent billions to acquire Bond as an IP, and then you go, oh, hang on a minute, we're going to take the pistols out of the posters. Why buy the IP if you're going to have such a problem with it? This is what I don't understand with these mindless idiots that keep doing this.
I'm absolutely fearful for a Bond relaunch, because who's he going to be fighting? The hurty words on the internet with his executive admin privileges.
Yeah, exactly. And his license to kill will be revoked now. He's got to earn it, and he's got to before he pulls the trigger, he's got to call in.
But there's two reports that really bother me. One is that Vinu, whoever his name is considering a black Bond, and two, they're actually considering doing a version of James Bond when he wasn't a 00 and he's very young.
James
And
Bond
he's
Jr.
like in his 20s, beginning 20s, which everybody's heard the rumor that they want to cast Shalamar, whatever his name is, as Bond, or even Tom Holland as Bond, which coincides with the game, the new James Bond game. The character that they've got playing James Bond in the game looks very
Diverse
young.
M.
Diverse M, and you know it's all going that way because
Yeah.
Amazon, they're twats like that. They really are. Censoring things only makes people want to dig deeper. Do you know what I mean? It's stupid.
Well, guys, I mean, look, you're big Bond fans like I am, and when I was growing up, you always used to have the sort of the running joke about, you know, what's Felix Leiter going to be next film? Is he going to be black? Is he going to be white, or what? And as a kid, I didn't mind that as much. But when you're talking about Bond himself, you've got to stick to how it was envisaged.
They don't care.
It's a white male, you know, and it's exactly, it's not, that's not a racist thing to say that. That is, no, if you're going to spend billions buying the franchise for Bond, do Bond. Don't alter Bond.
That's not what it's about, John. And Z knows
diversity.
This. That's not what it's about, right? They're playing the long game, right? They're going to shove all this crap until we accept it, until the next generation accept it, because we are too old. We know we've seen the strings, right, on the puppets. We know the puppets are not real. So as I'm saying, with this, we know what they're doing, right? There's no stopping them though, right? And then they're going to complain when nobody goes to see the film. Do you know what I mean? Or people on YouTube slams it because it's so woke. And then they're going to go, they're racists, and that's what's going to happen. Time and time again, it's the same thing all the time. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
I think, you're not going to get that gritty Bond. I mean, we've talked about it before, guys. And I've said before, I'm a fan of Dalton as Bond. Roger Moore was my Bond without a doubt. He was my era, but Dalton, he was okay in Living Daylights, but I really liked him in License to Kill. I liked how his character developed, even though he'd lost quite a lot more hair.
That's why they combed it back. Greased it back. Yeah, I did like him. I liked Dalton as Bond. I thought he was good. He was a shame
just the
that
wrong time, bit too early.
Yeah, it's good. And I do you know what, right? My favorite Bonds, right? And I don't know about you, Z or John. My favorite Bond is Connery #1, Roger Moore, because Roger Moore was part of my childhood. A lot of people don't understand that. It was rinse and repeat with Roger Moore. You went to see a Bond film, and then a year later, there was another Bond film with him. Then 2 years later, there was another Bond. So it was a rinse and repeat as a kid, you were growing up with Roger Moore. Do you know what I mean? So Roger Moore's my second and Pierce Brosnan's my third. I love Pierce. I thought Pierce was really good Bond, but he got some really shitty ones as he was going out the door, if you know what I mean. So there you go.
I mean, again, for me, as I said, I grew up with Roger Moore. I adore Connery. You can't give it to anyone but Connery, because he really made the movie series what it was. Great in the role. But growing up, it was Roger Moore for me. But when Brosnan became Bond, it was fantastic. And I adore GoldenEye. I really adore Tomorrow Never Dies. I really love that movie.
Love it.
I've got happy memories of working at the cinema when that one came out and just getting the giant movie poster to take home, which was great. But I think, and again, I'm not trying to sound like an old fogey when I say this, but I think the days of that excitement that you're going to see Bond are gone. I don't think they're coming back, and it's such a shame.
That's because he's dead, John.
Yeah, he did kill him. Yeah, as Darling Lives Matter says,
they literally
Bond.
killed the franchise.
Yeah. They did. Yeah, they did. It's funny because even you could tell the woke thing was going into Bond. Remember that Sky? I hate Skyfall. hate it. Remember that bit in Skyfall when the villain was looking at the scars on his chest and he's, oh, Mr. Bond, and he's
Yeah.
like, and Bond goes, what, he says something
Makes you think
about,
I'm the first. You're the
yeah,
first.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did they have that in there? I heard that Barbara Broccoli fought for that to stay in there. And it's like, why? You know what I mean? It's like, why would you do that? Anyway.
Do you know what I find strange about Barbara Broccoli is when you watch the Everything or Nothing documentary and she talks about, her dad, God rest his soul. And she says that, they were determined to honor his legacy, and to make sure it stood by it. And yet you have things like that happen, and you have the Daniel Craig era. And as you was just saying, Z, they killed him off in that movie.
Well,
that's not honoring your dad's legacy.
Let's be a bit more precise. Phoebe Waller-Bridge killed him off.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
No, well, that's not true either, Z. Basically, Daniel Craig was all for it, and Daniel Craig became producer, I think, in 3 Bond films. His name's as down as producer. I think it was 3 or 2. He's definitely the producer of the last movie, and he was all for it. And Daniel Craig was the worst thing that happened to James Bond. Everybody thinks that Roger Moore and Moonraker was the worst thing that happened to James Bond, but no. No way. I like Moonraker. No way. Yeah. It was Daniel Craig's era that literally kept banging against it and destroyed James Bond. It really did. The worst. Everybody keeps hailing Skyfall. I thought Skyfall was shit. It really was awful. I just didn't understand why people were going, how great it was. And don't even talk to me about the last film. I'll never watch that film ever again in my life. Ever.
Same. Well,
anyway,
again, when you watch that last one, it's not Bond though at all, is it? It's a guy that's emotionally distraught because he's lost his first girlfriend and he's found out he's got a kid. There's no brutal, dark assassin in that film at all,
But why has he got a kid? It's ridiculous.
To make him vulnerable. He's now got a father now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, again, terrible decisions. But I'm going to ask a question to you guys, right? At the weekend, I watched Never Say Never Again, right? I actually like Never Say Never Again.
Traitor!
But the soundtrack is damn awful for it.
Awful. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, when they're doing the chase where she's in the Renault 5 and he's on the motorbike, and it's like some sort of jazz music that they're playing for the chase. It's really peculiar.
They should rename that film to Never Watch Ever Again.
Sean Connery was really annoyed when he saw it. He was exec producer on Never Say Never Again, and the good stuff in there was because of Connery, because he fought for some of the stuff. But he hated the music, and I don't know why Ivan Kershner kept that kind of music in there. They weren't allowed to play the Bond theme or have the circles in the beginning, because that's copyrighted to Eon Productions. So they just did the best
Rowan
they
Atkinson
could, really.
In it.
I didn't mind him.
It was a bit of slapsticky stupidity in the middle of the film, because it was weird. They're trying to get the balance right in that film, because at first that you think they're going for the serious tone, but then they edge into the humorous element, like he has the fight in the health spa.
Yeah,
and he throws the jar on his face and it's his urine, that's all good. I like that. But then you've got the female assassin. I forget her name now, but she's well over
Fatima
the top.
Blush.
Yeah,
Fatima
that's
Blush.
it.
No, she was. I really liked. Look, the best thing about Never Say Never is Connery, right? Fatima Blush, and Kim Basinger. She wasn't a great actress in there, but she looked gorgeous. And and also the villain, he was really good. But the story was just rubbish, and and it didn't have the polish that James Bond films normally have. But Connery was the only reason why I went to see it. If Connery wasn't in it, I would never have gone to see it. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's like PB said here. Good to see you. Moonraker was silly. It was over the top nonsense. Is James Bond a serious Cold War spy character or dumb silly comedy? I know, but I think with Moonraker, I do enjoy it because I think it's it's the Roger Moore vehicle really that
Yeah,
keeps that
yeah.
going, without a doubt. And it's the comedy moments with Jaws where they smile at each other across the cable car. You know, those bits are wonderful. And then, of course, the boat chase as well through the Amazon.
It's again, right, I would say this to you guys, Z and John. It was because we were kids when we watched it. That's the reason why we love it so much, is because as a kid, right, all you wanted was that Airfix model of the Moonrakers. You loved Jaws. Jaws was fun. You know, the battle in space. You just come off after Star Wars, and you know, your eyes were like you know, you wide-eyed when you were seeing the big fight in space and stuff. It was all that. That's the reason why it was one of the most successful Bond films ever. Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason why it was.
Did you have the corgi loaded the spree that converted into a submarine?
I did, but I lost it. I took it to school. I took it to school, and somebody stole it because it's like, no, it wasn't secondary school. It was it was secondary school. I had it in my locker. Somebody stole it out of my locker. It was annoying, but
that's the kind of thing that makes you become a Bond villain. Someone stealing your car.
Also, right, another thing that's great about Moonraker is those amazing sets. Remember that bit where he fights the snake and Jaws pulls him out of the water, and then they go to the base and they have the Ken Adam set design where his walls are always slanted, aren't they?
Yeah,
and they have
fantastic.
that fantastic shot where you can see all the walls slanted, and he's just sitting there, and James Bond's been pulled in by Jaws, and that conversation. And I was reading about how they made the Moonrakers take off. When that shot where it takes off in that scene, they had salt coming out of the fuel thing, so it looked like fuel. Cool. It was salt. I was like, that's amazing, right? So anyway, we like it because we were kids. Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know when you talk about those sets? What I loved is in like '98 when I had the N64 and the game GoldenEye was released, which was
that was great. Yeah,
still one of the best games ever for me. You know, and I always and I always remember doing the 4-player games with friends, right? And we had it set to rocket launches, so we were all going around with rocket launches. But they'd recreated all the sets, so you had that Moonraker base that you were going around corridors trying to kill each other. Fantastic stuff. But I mean, Bond, what can we say about it? You know, it was a great run. We enjoyed it. So moving on to something else now, guys, we've got to do it. I'm sorry I'm doing this to you, but I've got to show you it. Okay. So let me just boot this up for everybody, and I'm going to cause you pain. And we're going to talk about this. You know what this is. We all know what this is.
Oh no.
Is it shooty?
No. You wish it was after watching this.
we're going to watch the whole trailer together, and we're going to then discuss it, okay? This is group therapy, everybody. Right, ready?
Oh no.
Caleb. What's that one? Right there. Right there.
Oh.
One day, when we have our own ship, we are going to go visit Earth first. That's right.
Bye-bye, Mommy!
I love you! I'm so sorry.
You hold on to how much you hate me right now, kid. It'll keep you warm at night.
Find him! Caleb, I've been looking for you every single day for the last 15 years. Come with me to Starfleet Academy. The Federation will help you find your mother.
That thing is taking us to the school?
That is the school.
Being a cadet in Starfleet Academy means being open to the people around you.
I understand. Sometimes I feel invisible, but mostly awkward.
Let's go! Show me you're worthy of this uniform!
I want to be captain. I need to be captain.
My family, you're either the center of the universe or you're nothing.
A warrior does not let a friend face danger alone.
I spent my whole life getting away from stuff, letting someone in. That's hard.
That's the guy in the skirt, isn't
I
it?
lose control,
Yeah.
I can hurt people.
Doesn't scare me.
Fribbles.
Something.
Looks like
Baby's
shit.
coming with a big red bow just for you.
Is anybody listening?
Man, why does everything have to be a full-on lesson in this place?
Because it's a school, Caleb. It's time for you to stop telling the story. Be a part of it.
So
Yeah.
all I can say, guys, is that was like a real life without medication. That was like a proper laxative for me. That one.
Not bad. It's a CW level melodrama wrapped in the rotted remains of a Star Trek skin suit.
It is.
do, you,
it is.
do you know what? They always do this though, where they have the really crap music on that's going, "Can you feel it?" No, I can't
Yeah.
feel it. It's crap.
It's written
rubbish.
by millennials for millennials, and I don't see any element of quality of storytelling in here whatsoever.
But the millennials are not going to be watching it anyway. They're not going to be watching it. So it's all, this is all for no reason. This is just a big waste of everyone's time and money. It really is. This is not Star Trek. This will never be Star Trek. It doesn't matter what anyone says. I mean, the only people that thinks it's Star Trek is the people in Hollywood that made this shit. So, you know, they're going to learn the hard way. They probably know it's going to fail.
I mean, how did we even get here? Did they watch Picard season 3 and go, "No, nobody wants any more of this"?
Well, I watched.
If I was a
watched
black
Gary.
woman who had the Princess Leia balls, I'd shake hands like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you shake hands like that?
Well, as Gavin Blackburn said, he goes, "Thanks for telling me. Obviously, awkward character is awkward."
Yeah, I know. It's like, and also, right, it's again, right, if you look at Star Trek, the 60s version, even the Next Generation, there are some beautiful women in there. Beverly
Yeah.
Crusher, you know, Yar, do you know what I mean? There are some fantastic, I mean, 7 of 9, what are they giving us here? An overweight black woman. Do you know what I mean? Why? Why?
Who? If
Why?
you
Don't
watch-
you think there's any beautiful black women out there?
No.
Why are you
exactly.
giving us this? You know,
Well,
it's
let's just get to the heart of that. What you just said there, mate. Not just an unattractive.
I'm going to be attacked.
not just an unattractive black woman, but a half Klingon Jem'Hadar hybrid who is clearly
Yes.
overweight and is teaching people physical fitness in the gymnasium
Yeah.
in that trailer. So how does
Yeah.
that
And also,
work?
A Jem'Hadar hybrid who's from North London for some reason.
yes, yeah.
Who
and
still
also-
needs Ketracel whites to survive?
And also, was that a Klingon in a dress?
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
it's Timu
I mean,
Wharf, isn't it? That's what it
it
is.
really is ridiculous, isn't it? This whole thing is ridiculous. And they've dragged 2 movie stars into this thing. They really have 2 really well respected.
Holly Hunter
movie
looks
stars.
hammered.
Yeah,
She looks drunk.
because she needs the money, and so does Jamati. He needs the money as well. That's why they're in it. There's no way they could read the script and go, "This is great." If they did, they're very stupid.
They're
indeed.
liars.
Yeah. I mean, again, you would hope in a sane world that this would only be a 1 season and done, but you never know anymore, do you? This could
No.
run, you know, everyone till you get to about season 5. Because I see they even had in that trailer, they've got the annoying Tilly from Star Trek Discovery in it
God.
as well. So they're
The
really
girl
bringing
that
the party
beat
back.
people in a race.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
yeah, who
Beat her.
who runs around the decks in her disco kit, you know, trying to make out she's super healthy and fit. No way. If she was properly doing exercise, she'd be like me on the treadmill at the gym. She'd be wheezing by the end of it. You know,
Seriously.
terrible. So that's another dumpster fire that's on its way. And like you say, as you guys were saying earlier, what will happen is as soon as it fails, it'll be, well, it was all the far right racists that didn't watch it. You know,
Can I just
they're
say
responsible.
something? Just like to say to the people that are watching, there's like 13 people watching, which we are very grateful for. Well, punch the like button, for God's sakes. I mean, we've only got 6 likes. I mean, there are 12 of you, or is there? Maybe 13 now.
Well, we got,
So
well,
just punch the like button.
yeah,
It doesn't cost you anything. 1 second. Click.
Do
Smash
it,
some
everybody.
likes. Do it.
Yes.
You're
Come on.
Thank
alive.
you.
You're coming with me.
And trust me, you don't want to make Ian angry. I've seen him
Exactly.
angry. You don't,
You
Exactly.
won't
want
like
that.
him when he's angry.
No. Anyway.
And PB saying sources say this show will be a one and done because Ellison wants to clear the slate since the merger went through. So
Yeah.
I hope that's the case. I hope Kurtzman is.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
I'll start off with CZ. If you
Yes.
were in charge to bring back Star Trek, what would you do? What would your plan be?
Well, I would actually like a Starfleet Academy series, but not like this. You know, like you saw in the Wesley Crusher TNG episode.
Yeah.
You know, with because these look like they've got absolutely no sense of discipline whatsoever.
Yeah.
No.
Certainly looks like it.
Well, again,
so
it's all about emotion.
I would like a Starfleet Academy series, but with some proper cadets. You know, alpha cadets, like Starship Troopers cadets.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just there to boldly go. They've also got the defense of the Federation at hand.
Yeah.
The right stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a Klingon political drama. I've yet to decide.
Oh, yeah. You know, well, of course, there's the big rumor going around at the moment is that they might be looking at maybe doing a sequel to Enterprise and doing a President Archer series.
Yeah,
now I'd be up for that. Yeah, because I think Bakula would be. I liked him
as long as they don't include the stuff that Klutzman has included in Star Trek. As long as they're completely divorced of that, because the moment I see something in that show, if they eventually do it, I'm out. I'm out. My time is valuable to me. I'm not going to sit and watch 6 episodes of woke rubbish. Not for me anymore. No.
And I think, you know, like, I don't know if you guys read them at the time, but, you know, they did the novels of the Romulan War from Enterprise.
Yeah,
so they could easily adapt those novels anyway. So that's what you could do. You could do that. And then I think for me, if I was doing it and bringing it back, I would go, right, try and jettison this. I would ignore, you know, the flipping hypersensitive pansies in the far future at the Academy. I would just basically just say that got blown off into a black hole if anyone ever asked me at a Comic-Con. But I would literally just say, maybe I would say, kind of do what Next Gen did with the original series when that came about. I'd go 80 to 100 years in the future. Let's go forward from here. That's it. I won't talk about anything else. Let's go forward.
But on the original timeline, though, wouldn't you? I wouldn't go on this timeline. I'd go back to formula, as Green Goblin would say. I'd go back to the days of you know, the Next
26
Generation.
episode seasons. Would you like that, Ian?
6 episode seasons.
No, 26 episode seasons.
26.
You know,
obviously,
what we used to have, a full season, which occupied half a fluffing year.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, though, with 26 seasons, they have to have full scripts, full ready to go scripts, right? And confident in the episodes that they're presenting. And that's what they were good at in the old days. Now you get 8 episodes and it's trash. Yeah. It's rubbish.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was on a show, I think I was doing my Stargate watch along, and I was on there with Gary and Brian. And we were talking about it, and we were making the point loving Stargate SG-1, you know, where you're talking that's over, you know, 26 episodes a season, like you guys were just saying, that the benefit you have with that, even if you have bad episodes in it, they're overruled by a lot more good episodes.
Absolutely. I mean, you'd only get like 4, maybe 5 duffers out of the
Yeah.
entire 26 episode run.
Yeah, and it gives you the opportunity. If you look at Stargate SG-1, and I'm watching Supernatural at the moment, that's a similar thing as well. When you've got a long season like that, like we used to get, you've got room to do what they call the season long arc stories, and you've also got time to do standalone stories that don't link to the overall arc. And it gives you also time to flesh out the characters. And the trouble that they've got now is, you look at it now, I mean, the writing's crap anyway, but you look at things like Alien Earth and they do 8 episodes, and it's like, where I was saying about where you can have bad ones in a big season, bad episodes, you could have in that, if you've got 8 episodes, say you've got 3 or 4 crap episodes, but then again, that was 8 crap episodes, so it wasn't going to win anyway. But even if you had some good ones, a lot of your bulk of your season is already overwritten by rubbish, and you haven't had time to develop the characters. You haven't had time to build the arc for a future season. So that's the trouble they've got, but they won't learn. And I wanted to ask you guys about that, because for me, they kind of looked at the TV format, and, you know, credit to Brian, he said about this, he goes, well, you know, the success was when it was on TV format. They made them because obviously they got the advertising revenue, the streaming services
as well.
Exactly. And the streaming services, they then went, we want some of that. But what they did is they brought them into the streaming services like Disney and the others, and they went, you know, but we're going to change that now. We're going to drop it down to 8 episodes. And again,
it's because of money. It's because of money. You know what I would do though, right? If I was going to do Star Trek or any TV show, I would definitely have 26 episodes. But what I would do, right, is I would destroy binging. So what I would do is release the first episode, right? At a certain time, and then that episode is gone. Second episode comes along, it plays for a certain time, and it's gone. Do you know what I mean? So people can't go back and go, I want to watch the episode before that. Then if they know it's being released at this point, they have to be there. Bang. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have to be there. Bang, bang. And obviously when the whole season's done its run, you know, 2 weeks later, I guess you can bring the whole thing back and then they can binge it. But I think it's really important, because first impressions is so important, that it's a good show and that it brings you in. Giving you the option to binge it the first time around is not going to help, because you will just be on your phone, whatever, or you will just make time when you've got time, whatever. But if you have the show that comes out and it's only there for a day and it disappears, you might have to make the effort. So I don't know. Maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know.
I was going to say, guys, just before we carry on with what we're talking about, I just want to say hello to network number 5384. I've not seen you before. Great to see you, mate. You know, good to have you with us. And also, you know, I was also going to say, you know, good to see PB here tonight as well. Nice to see you. So it's good to see some people popping up in the chat tonight as well. And, you know, they clearly like us, guys. You know, we've done something right.
they're talking about things that we're talking about, which is good, because they're listening to us. Because usually sometimes when you're on a live stream, they just go off in a tandem, the people in the chat, and they're talking about something completely different. You're like, what are they talking about? Yeah, so
we just cover everything. We'll be finished by about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, everyone. Just so get your coffee in.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, Star Trek is doomed.
It is, and again, this is what we were saying before, guys. You know, and Z, I think you brought it up as well. That just like Doctor Who, it's another franchise in the last decade where they've got their paws on it, and they've just said, right, we're doing it our way, or we're going scorched earth, and that's what's happened. And I don't think they're intelligent enough to write Star Trek. Star Trek always used to be intelligent, and they just can't do it, can they?
They're not. Yeah, they're not.
Well, the series is only going to be as strong as its smartest writer.
Yeah, and
unfortunately, not many of them are smart at all.
Yeah,
but they did admit that what they want to do is change the thought patterns of people. You know, because when they made the first Picard, they literally said it. So we know their motivations behind making this show. Immediately when I saw a white mother with a black kid, I thought, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You know, and I'm not a racist by saying that
No.
because I'm the color that I am. I just think it's such a trope now that it just sickens me. You know, they're not being true to what's actually happening in real life. Okay, it's not real life, and you know they can argue that point. That's fine with me. But when it happens in every show you're watching, it just gets annoying. Like I watched the trailer for The Running Man, and his wife is black and he's got a black kid, even though he's
Yeah.
white. Wouldn't the
Yeah.
kid be, you know, mixed race? No, but the kid's full black.
I think
like-
the running man is the kid's father.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. So it's like, how does that work? You know, and it's obvious that he's just pushing it in for the agenda and the woke stuff, and it just feels wrong, you know, and it is
Well,
wrong in my opinion.
There was a report, guys, that came out a couple of weeks back in the UK, and they basically came out with the data, and they said that I think it was advertising in the UK is oversaturated with different ethnicity couples. That it's something like 2/3 now of all adverts do it. So, like, you know, you watch an advert where, you know, it's like they bought a bed and you've got a white woman and a black man, you know, and it's like very rarely do you see two white couple that are white in, you know, buying something together. Very rare now because they think, I don't know what it is. It's almost like they think that there's going to be a massive uprising if they start doing that. You know, it's not PC.
I don't mind that, right? I don't mind that at all. But when they get it wrong, because I'm a man of color, when they get it wrong, like in The Running Man, where he's actually her father, the child's father, and it's like there's no way that kid's going to look like that. So it's things like that I think, don't they know this? Or I mean, it's obvious they're pushing it in for the agenda, but don't they know that that kid can't look like that? What, only took genes from the mother and none from the father?
Yeah.
What's going on there? Do you know? That kind of thing really pees me off. You know, I don't mind adverts if they have mixed race, because in England, mixed race couples are much more higher than you think in England. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Hopefully, you know, I was hoping it would kind of eradicate racism, but it hasn't. It's just because like the powers that be's made everything worse now. But you know, I think it's still a good thing. I don't mind it when it's done properly, put it that way. So anyway.
Yeah, 100%. Another thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is that you know, and you brought this to my attention, Ian, about the fact that Back to the Future is going to be back in the cinemas for the 40th screening, for a 40th screening.
Yep.
I need to know where that's being viewed, because I'm up for doing that.
Everywhere. No, it's Cineworld is showing it, and you know what? This is going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be as big as the Jaws thing, because Back to the Future is beloved by everyone. It's the only thing that hasn't been touched and destroyed so far. I mean, Jaws is great, but Jaws 2, Jaws 3, indeed 3D, and Jaws 4, all you know, they're all crap. But you know, Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 made by the same people, and they haven't got the hooks into it because the people that created Back to the Future will never let them get their hooks into it. So it's a good thing you should celebrate Back to the Future. It really is.
It's
and
just
they've got a very affordable Lego set coming out.
Yeah.
Have they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be a Christmas present for me, I think. You know,
Doc Marty figures and the original DeLorean.
There you go.
Oh, fantastic.
$27.99. Yes, please.
But again,
yeah, go on. Sorry.
They need to put more films like this from the past back into cinemas.
But they have.
You've done Jaws, but down here they haven't.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you've got Cineworld, but ours went bust down here. So it's like Garbage said, he hasn't seen it in his area, but it would be nice if they branched that out, because I think what I don't get is the fact that, you know, the movie theaters, they would probably bite people's hands off to get these films back into cinemas. It's the studios that are reluctant to do it. But when you're getting a load of rubbish now, surely it'd make business sense. Yes, you're not going to make the money you made in the past, but you're still going to make a decent return by just putting those films back in cinemas. In certain select theaters, though. That's
I watched Alien Special Edition a couple of weeks ago. It was amazing.
Yeah,
there you go. So I mean, there are some films that they've put out that hasn't done well. You know, like I think the Twilight films haven't done well since they re-released them. I think, but Back to the Future is good because Back to the Future is beloved
Yeah.
by so many people. So many people love that film, and
Perfect for me.
I'm going to definitely go and see it in IMAX, and I know I'm gonna love every moment of it. It's gonna take me back to how I felt when I first saw it. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna love it, Even when I see clips on YouTube of it, I'm like, this is
Just
you know when you hear it. Listen, I'm just gonna go off on one. Do you know when you
Yeah.
hear a song and it takes you back? It's like time travel with a
it
song.
is.
Like if I hear Phil Spector's Christmas album, it's like time travel. It takes me back to when I was a kid and Dad used to play it, and looking at the Christmas tree and feeling all Christmassy. It takes you back. Certain songs do that to you as well, and certain films do that. And Back to the Future is one of them for me. When
Yeah.
I watch that film, it takes me back. Time traveling back to the 80s, watching that film in the cinema, wanting that bloody camera. What was it? The VHS-C, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
VHS-C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that is one of the films that does take you back. And I mean, for me in the 80s, again, it set off a whole trend of skateboarding in the UK at that point.
Yeah, it did,
It's such a good film. But I also, like you say, with soundtracks and films that take you back. I mean, I still get emotional at Top Gun because the first time I saw Top Gun is I got in from school, and my dad knew he said to me, he goes, "Oh, I've recorded something for you last night and I want you to watch it." And he sat me down, pressed play, and it was Top Gun.
Oh, wow.
And I must have burnt that VHS out, and then they got me the VHS for Christmas, and I've loved it ever since. They got me the soundtrack for Christmas as well, and it's like every time I hear Danger Zone, it transports me back. It's just it's things like that. It's things like where I was the first time I watched Ghostbusters as well. That's another one for me. And I don't think it's an age thing now. I think it's a quality thing where there aren't films now that I come out of them and I might go, even if it's a decent film, I'll go, yeah, that's good, but it just doesn't have the spark like it did. And I think one of them is, there's a nostalgia because I'm not a kid anymore. And the second is that I don't know. I think it's more that there's so many CGI films now. I'm a kid that grew up with a lot more practical.
Yeah, the quality of films, then it's not there anymore. I mean, is there a film that transports you back, Z? When is there a special film for you?
I think it's always been Alien Special Edition. I've always loved that film ever since I first had it on VHS, because it originally came out on VHS, didn't it? It wasn't actually in the cinema at all. But I always get nostalgic for that edition, because I know exactly where I was, what point I was in my life, and every time I watch it, I'm reminded of that again.
The Aliens is a great movie.
But Back to the Future is also another one that does it for me.
I mean,
great.
Also, it's not the reason why. Another reason is because BBC, when they showed it on Christmas Day, I remember the whole family, we ate our food, and we cleared the table at record-breaking time just to see Back to the Future on BBC. And the whole family sat down and watched Back to the Future. And, even though he says, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious stuff.
Shit.
No, he said stuff in the BBC version. He said stuff. We were like, what? So there you go, so...
Do you know what I find that funny about the BBC and ITV, because they would do stuff like that, right? But then they would, through the summer season in the 80s, they'd play Jaws and they'd show the leg coming off and drop into the bottom of the water. So it's like, sorry, so you're right to traumatize kids with an amputation by a shark, but not saying shit.
It is strange, isn't it? I mean, my sister and her my niece went to see Back to the Future stage play, and they take out the Libyans thing out of it.
Really?
It's completely gone from the stage play, or the musical. But anyway, I digress.
I got asked to go to that, and I was like, I just can't, because It's the movie for me. I can't. That's it. I cannot watch another medium of it. It's the movie all the way.
I think it's who's
great.
playing Doc Brown in the latest, some TV star. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
Not Billy Connolly, something Connolly.
No.
He's playing. But anyway, sorry. Let's just move on.
No, that's right. Yeah. So, mate, the other thing we're going to talk about is how, and I wanted to get your thoughts, guys, on what you think about the fact that Tron Ares has completely tanked at the cinema.
I think the biggest clue is the first word, which is Tron, and the fact that this movie doesn't have him in it.
Exactly.
It's not the third film in a trilogy. It's like it said fuck you to the first two films and then decided to go off and do its own thing. It's hardly surprising. And Jared Leto, for God's sake, he's not a box office draw
He's
under
not,
any
is he?
Circumstances. Just stop. They promote he's like a male Zendaya. He's in everything. No, stop it. Don't want him anymore.
Yeah, it's
he does some weird method stuff as well, doesn't he?
He's the white greasy Pedro Pascal. Just piss off, Jared Leto.
If you want to know the history of Tron Ares, you should watch Dave Cullen's latest one. He talks about how they wrote a really good script for the sequel to the last one a long time ago. And it's because of the failure of certain films that they didn't get it done. And Jared Leto was linked with that, but he was the villain in that. And there was a character called Ares in that rewrite in the sequel to the second Tron movie. So it's very detailed, the Dave Cullen thing. So if you want to know, just tune into Dave Cullen and watch that episode.
Yeah. I mean, thing is, guys, and this is another take I want to get from you guys to see whether you agree or disagree with me. I really like Tron Legacy. I do. I think that's a good movie. I enjoy it. And I like the Daft Punk soundtrack. But for me, growing up in the 80s, with the first movie, Tron, I never saw that as a massive blockbuster. It was more a cult classic for me.
It wasn't.
With great effects. But for me, it was. But
no,
I
it
don't
wasn't
know how they're trying to...
wise.
Exactly, And I don't know how they seem to think that they're going to make this as a massive franchise, because it never was going to be that, was it? They don't seem to learn. Well, I was driving to see a client with work the other day, and I did see here on YouTube when I was watching, I think it might have been Nerdrotic, and Nerdrotic said that apparently a lot of sources are coming out from Disney to basically say they're not going to try again with Tron. That's it. They're dumping it now. So it might be, they might try again in 10, 15 years, but for now they're just going to park it, I think, which is the best thing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, because I mean it had a lot of potential, the third movie. I'm not going to lie to you. I was excited when I first saw the first trailer, but then you start getting leaks coming out about what the story is, and you start, that doesn't sound very nice at all. I mean, Tron has got a lot of rope in it. I absolutely swear by the Tron Uprising animated series. If you haven't seen that, go and watch it. It's brilliant. Great addition to the Tron universe, and they can do things that enhance the Tron storyline. They chose not to.
And it's a bait and switch, isn't it? Is that what you were saying, Ian, the other day?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but somebody told me it was bait and switch. If you look at the trailer, the girls are not featured at all in the trailer, but in the film, they're the ones that run the show. Apparently.
Yeah, like kind of completely diminishing Sam Flynn's role from the second movie. He may as well just not exist.
I don't think, again, we're actually at a point now where I think with Disney movies coming out under the Disney brand, you might as well just not go to them, because I don't think they're ever going to be good again. I just think that they're so blocked off with making something quality by all of the diversity jackboxes that they want to do that it defeats them at making a good movie. And I don't think they're going to learn. I mean, we've talked about this before, guys. I don't think this woke is going. I just think it's being rebranded.
Oh, no, it's definitely going. I mean, you look at all of Disney's brands, Star Wars, Marvel, Lucasfilm, including Willow, even Pixar, and their own Disney parks are starting to become empty. People are just sick of this shit, and they're voting with their wallets. box office numbers are down completely for Disney. They're not going to recover from this. And every time they release a new movie with a mediocre midline script designed by algorithm so it doesn't offend anybody, the further they're going to sink into oblivion.
That's true.
I reckon eventually they'll probably get bought out by Apple.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's the case that they do go down, because they deserve to for what they've done for the last decade. But
that's true.
But again, these companies, you know, they get someone like you say, Z, they get bought by an Apple, and you know, actually, then again with Apple, I will say, out of all of them, Apple are they've done some decent stuff.
They have indeed, yeah. They put
the
time, money, and energy into a lot of IPs, and it's starting to pan out for them. So good for Apple.
Yeah,
I know. Obviously, they're evil global conspiracy brand, and I'm not supposed to support these things. But yay, go Apple!
Well, I've got a little bit of hope for Paramount, because they've just brought in a producer from Apple, who was involved with a lot of good series. So that does give me some hope.
Not going to make a difference. Not going to make a difference.
Look, if on the first, like the next Comic-Con, the new management suddenly announced a Tilly spin-off series, then I know that all hope is lost and it's never going to happen. You know, Combat Tilly.
Star Trek Academy literally is a Tilly spin-off series. Although I did hear that she's only in the first episode.
Good. I hope she gets killed anyway.
Yeah, that would be great. Transporter accident, like in Star Trek the Motion Picture. I rewatched that today, actually.
Super.
What a great movie.
Did you watch it on YouTube? 460, man. Why are they screening it in 460?
Don't know.
Because they want you to buy the 4K set. That's why.
It's so annoying. It's like when you blow up to your TV, it just looks like shit.
Is it?
I just stopped watching it.
Is it the standard version on YouTube, or is it the
director's cut?
Director's cut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With ads.
I mean, okay. I mean, I watched the motion picture about 4 weeks ago, and I still love it. I mean, I know people say it's slow, but out of all of them, it's probably the most like a Star Trek episode from the original series than all the others. I
disagree. Totally disagree.
Wow.
I
we
mean,
always do.
I've got a few bugbears about the motion picture, to be honest. I think Kirk's a bit of a dick to Deckard.
He is.
Oh yeah, well, when he turns up and basically screws him over with the command, you know, that's a big one.
Yeah, I just think Star Trek 2 was more. I thought it find the balance really well between a TV episode and a movie. I thought Rafa Khan did it very well. Did it better than you see the difference between that and motion picture. Robert Wise was trying to make an epic, but he was also trying to have a love letter to the Star Trek series, and I think he was overindulgent in making that film, and I think that's the mistake of the first movie compared to the second one. Anyway,
it's interesting when you watch the documentary on the motion picture 4K set, and they talk about that, and they're talking about it was different for him at the time, where he was really the scripts were changing literally so often that he was trying to help this cast visualize what was on the screen and things like that, when it was changing so constantly. And I think that's why he was so happy to go back and do the director's cut, because of because of how he had to rush to get that one
more
completed.
Spock, I guess. More Spock in this one, I think.
But can I ask, guys, Decker in the motion picture?
Yes.
Riker is basically from Next Gen. Is basically Decker, isn't he? It's a carbon copy. Yeah.
Exactly. I quite like the character.
Yeah. He might come back one day. Maybe he's at Starfleet Academy.
He did something really horrible, didn't he, in real life? So he's not coming back for anything.
Oh, did he?
Did he?
Yes.
Now then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be why. Yeah.
There you go. He's not coming back to anyway. Yeah, move along.
Yeah.
And he was in was he not in Tales of the Golden Monkey? He was the star of Tales of the Golden Monkey, right?
he was also in Brewster's Millions, wasn't he?
He was.
He
I
was the
think so.
boyfriend. He was the boyfriend
Yeah.
that was involved in he was the accountant.
Was
that
he?
that tried to stitch him up by hiding some money at the end of it.
Oh, right.
That was Decker.
Yeah, but I know he was the star of, somebody look that up in the chat if they can. He was the star of Tales of the Golden Monkey. Do you remember that Indiana Jones ripoff that they had on Saturdays? I think he was. I'm not sure now. I'm probably wrong, but anyway.
Well, we'll have to do a King Solomon's Mines watch at some point.
Oh,
guys.
I love that film.
Yeah,
it's so bad. It's funny.
I know. It's
It's
complete
such a good
indie
movie.
ripoff.
Yeah, it's very funny.
And I mean, going back to Tron, I think I just think I'll be glad if they kind of leave it alone for a while. To be honest,
Well,
hopefully
it's
someone
dead.
sensible.
It's dead.
The latest rumor I heard is that they're trying to actually resurrect and do a new black hole movie.
Oh no!
And you imagine how bad that would be now if they attempted that. I think we got a sequel to that. It was called Event Horizon that I will never watch again. Terrifying movie.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie. I really liked it. But Black Hole, it's one of those classics that you can't really touch. Otherwise, if you do touch it, it'll be unrecognizable or
like
bad.
the Cat from Outer Space.
Yeah.
You can't remake that.
Do you know
it's
what?
already perfect.
Do you know what? See, I was forced to see that film. My mum took me to see that film when I was a kid. Yeah. And do you remember? I don't know if you guys did this in the old days, right? Because we were all working class and my mum couldn't afford something. We used to go to the shop next door and used to buy all these popcorn and sweets and have it in a plastic bag. And then we get in the cinema and she used to share it out and stuff when we were watching the film. I remember being so bored watching that film. I was like, this film is shit. It really is. But you had no choice in those days, you know. Whatever your mum took you to see, you had to see it, right?
Come on, kids, we're going to watch Digby, the biggest dog in the world.
Oh, God, that was worse. No, but I did enjoy the Shaggy DA. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite fun.
But you know when you said about your mum would smuggle all the sweets and drinks in, and then you knew the game was up when your Kiora fell down the aisle and the usher was walking past, you know.
But they didn't care though. If the cinema I went to, they didn't care. You know, you went in there. You know, I think everybody used to do it, and because the sweets were just it was too much. It cost too much, and everybody used to do it. And it was the days when people used to smoke in the cinema as well. So, you know, we had to put up with
see
that
the light
crap as
going
well.
through the cigarette smoke from the projector.
Exactly.
Classic
exactly.
stuff.
So,
I think that's part of it as well. I think, you know, I do miss that era of what I call the old style cinema theaters. You know,
I'm
it's
so
a
old, I
shame they're gone.
remember intermissions.
yes, yes.
Let's
I do
all
remember
go to
that
the
too.
lobby.
But they stopped the film halfway through so you could eat another bloody chuck ice.
That's it. In those days, it was choc ices and the Kiora. Kiora was those plastic little orange drinks with the straw.
That's right,
Do
straw.
you remember? Yeah,
I wonder I'm a fat git now.
I think so the first film I ever saw was a Jungle Book, which my mum and dad took me to see. But the film that I remember the most in that cinema, which is the Granada, was my dad took me to see 10 Commandments, and that had an intermission between it. Do you know what I mean? Where you can get up and go for a pee, and the lady will come round with the the tray of ice lollies and stuff. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Brilliant.
Ice
Brilliant
lollies,
golden era.
chuck ices, popcorn, cigarettes.
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 Yep. Cigarettes. Yeah.
It was
10
great.
Rothmans, please.
While I'm watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
When you got older, right, and you were old enough to go on your own, there used to be Saturday nights where they'd show 2 horror films back to back. They'd have Scanners and The Howling, you know, shown in the Flea Pit cinema, and you'd go there and the cinema used to be packed. And where I lived, it was just black people screaming at the screen and throwing popcorn and smoking joints in the back and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun, you know. Nobody had a fight or anything like that. Everybody was just there for the film. I remember when they showed Enter the Dragon and Wave the Dragon. When they showed Enter the Dragon, oh my God, the people just went crazy when they got those the nunchucks out. They just went mental, throwing stuff at the screen, screaming, you know, and oh my God, those were the days, pal. You don't get cinema like that no more.
No, and I think to add to that as well, guys, you don't get Saturday morning cartoons like we
No.
got anymore, do you?
No.
You know, where you'd be up on a Saturday as a kid, you'd be up at 7 a.m. with the TV on in the lounge, you know, just watching cartoons and, you know, staying up for a bit of Thundercats and a bit of that on a Saturday morning. It's good stuff. Tarzan, yeah, blimey.
Banana splits. Remember that?
Yeah.
Banana splits. Yeah, there's Saturday. Was it BBC Banana Splits?
Yeah,
I used to watch
Splits.
the Arabian Nights cartoon.
That's it.
Yeah.
Size of an elephant.
Pink Panther.
Yeah, I always wanted that car. Where I always felt sorry for Pink Panther when it left without him and he'd run out.
And the kid gets out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, flipping out. He's breaking a few laws, isn't he?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Here's the helmet, doesn't he?
We got away with lots back then, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, I was also going to ask people in the chat, really. I mean, there's a lot of you tonight. I think live watching, we got something like 37 people. So thank you for watching us tonight. It's good to see you. But I wanted to ask you, really, if you'd like us to continue doing more of these on a sort of Monday night as a regular thing, because, you know, I always have fun with these guys anyway. So, you know, just let us know if you want us to do these, and it'll be kind of like after a tough day at work, you get to hang out with us and have a laugh and we can talk bollocks.
Well, I mean, you can mention someone. I mean, like Derek Lives Matters. I think he says Star Trek motion picture director's cut. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Kubrick level. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, that's been on screen.
But yeah. Oh, there it is. I don't know whether I agree with that, but I do see his point. You know. So
yeah.
There you go.
And it's like Ginny Coonan said, love the Banana Splits, my favourite, and Flashing Blades French with subtitles. You might be too young for that.
Blades. And then they brought it back, and then there was these comedians that did the voiceovers for it. I don't know if you guys remember that one, which was hilarious. But yeah, Flashing Blades, man. Oh my God, it's taking me back very far.
We should do a classic TV.
We should
one day.
Yeah,
you know, go through all the stuff like the Flumps and Play School, the way up to, you know, all the cartoons you used to watch as a kid.
D'Artagnan and his Musker Hounds and all.
I used to watch one that I only ever remember appearing on London Weekend Television, which was Marine Boy, which is kind of an anime series. Do you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he used to be able to breathe underwater with the use of a special gum. Almost drowned in our local pool because of that.
They used to have. I don't know if look, going back further. I don't know if you remember, there were before the news. I think it was like a French cartoon, Plasticines, Red and the Blue. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No one remembers that. Z doesn't.
No, I don't. I don't remember that one.
They used to have that. Yeah, before the news.
Sorry, no, I'm thinking of Morph.
I know Morph is the BBC one, but also had Willow the Wisp. Anybody remember that one?
Yeah, Willow the Wisp.
And along the Moog.
Rhubarb and custard.
That sort of stuff.
Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse was fantastic as far as I was. Yeah. Danger Mouse used to make me laugh so much because of the ludicrous things they used to do in there. And it's very funny. Count Duckula was quite good as well. So,
I have to say though, you know, when I talk about, you know, being an 80s kid, and I grew up with He-Man, I grew up with Thundercats, you know, the real Ghostbusters. But the cartoons were superb as a kid.
No, we just thought it was.
Oh,
when you look back at it now, you're
awesome.
Like, well, I've seen better animated cartoons, but you know, I mean, they were of its time.
Mate. How dare you?
It's like you guys remember. You remember Tarzan, right? They must have played the same
one.
Yeah, they used to play the same clip in swinging every week, didn't they? It was the same clip, wasn't it? So,
well, speaking of this, network number 5384 brings up Bagpuss.
Yeah.
And did you see that a few weeks ago they said they're bringing it back, but they're doing it as a movie?
Yeah,
you know,
it's not good.
And it's like it's going to be an adventure. Bagpuss is not meant to be an adventure movie, is it? He yawns when he wakes up and stays on his mat, for crying out loud. He's not going to be going and shooting out a building, is he? It's crazy.
He doesn't move at all. I'll tell you one film they should have made, but they didn't. They were going to make it, was Mr. Ben.
Hey.
I can see Mr. Ben making a good movie because when he
No,
goes
no,
into that.
you're wrong, Ian,
Oh.
because it'll be taken as a trans allegory.
Yeah, it's good to see Brian and Shane from the podcast popping in. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, wacky races. Someone's mentioned. Yeah,
Now that would make a great movie. Wacky Races.
There's a fake trailer online at the moment.
Yes,
for Wacky
I've seen
Races
it.
with
yeah.
what's it, Jim Carrey in the lead.
Yeah, Jim Carrey would be fantastic. And you hear that Jim Carrey's playing the Jetson, Thingy Jetson. They're making a Jetsons movie, and Jim Carrey's going to play what's his name? Can't remember the main character. He's playing him. Apparently. George Jetson. Yeah, he's playing him. So it's going to be interesting. Put it that way.
You know already that there is someone there who's going to go right. We're going to do a Jetsons and Flintstones shared universe at some point with time travel.
They did it in
I
the
can
cartoon.
see them doing it. Yeah, I can see them doing it.
Yeah. But, I like Jim Carrey. I mean, the last Sonic Hedgehog film, I just cried with laughter when he was dancing with himself. I think it was his dad, wasn't it? I don't know if you've seen it, guys.
Yeah.
Have you seen the last one?
Yeah,
He's very funny. He's still got it, in my opinion. But anyway.
Yeah, I think I think there's so many good shows from the 80s and certainly the 70s that we could do a show just talking about them. You're right, Sia. I think we're going to have to do that because that'll be good fun talking about it.
Yeah, they've done
Dungeons and
Scooby-Doo.
Dragons.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons was great. Anybody remember Fantastic Journey? Used to play.
Yes.
I mean, you're probably too young.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember it?
Fantastic Journey, the one with the dog and the cat.
Yeah, and the guy that was in Escape to Witch Mountain, Dusty from I think it was Dallas, or the guy, he used to have like this weapon. It looked like a tuning fork. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No, you don't remember? Maybe I'm talking about the wrong show. Fantastic Journey. The guy with the afro is a black guy with an afro. The girl that had the cat, the black cat. Have I got this wrong?
No, you're making me think of Johnny.
I
don't know why you're making me think of Johnny Quest, but it's not Johnny Quest.
No, I'm telling you, there's a show called Fantastic Journey. Had the guy that was in Escape to Witch Mountain. It was the same guy who played Scotty's nephew that got burnt up in Star Trek 2. And it had the guy that was in Dallas, had a black guy that had an afro, had a white girl with a cat. If you look it up, I'm telling you, that show exists.
Is this
Fantastic
animated?
Journey?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's real. It's real. It's real.
I know what you mean.
Fantastic Journey.
Yeah, I've got it here. It's got yeah, I've got it. I know what you mean. I think it might be the guy who played. He was in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. No. Was he? Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
You don't remember that show, Z? No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Roddy McDowell. That's it.
Yeah, Roddy McDowell was in it. Yeah.
That's it. He was what's his name in Planet of the Apes, wasn't he?
Yes, he was
Cornelius.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's the film, but in the series he was Galen, wasn't he?
I can't remember.
Yeah, you're right. He was Galen, I think. Yeah, another great series. Planet of the Apes 70s series. Great stuff.
But only went for one. Is it 2 seasons? Planet of the Apes. It was a big flop.
One season, yeah, and But I watched it because I got the set. I watched it a few months back, and it's a really good series. So I'm surprised it didn't do as well as it should have done, really.
Yeah.
But there's lots of series. I mean, there's things I want to talk about as well, like shows like I want to talk about Quantum Leap, and I've told you before, Ian, I want to talk about Airwolf, I want to talk about Knight Rider, I want to talk about Street Hawk, Automan, A-Team, it's just great.
Manimal,
yeah. Magnum PI.
Let's do that.
Manimal.
Capable of speeds of up to 300 miles an hour.
Terrible, isn't it?
Oh, so good.
There were some really good shows. Look, I don't know. As I said, young people, obviously, they cannot fathom what we went through on Saturday nights and stuff. People used to watch a lot more TV on Saturday nights and stuff like that. But some of those shows were they were either awful but fun, or
Yeah.
they were awful. Just awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that one where it had the theme? I need a hero. What was that one called?
Cover Up.
Cover Up. That was it. Cover Up.
That's it,
Oh,
because
my
he
Lord.
died, didn't he, in real life? The
So,
guy,
the
he was
original
going to be a
guy,
big
yeah.
star, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to try and show you it, and I'll try and show you all this. See if you remember. Right, this is probably ahead of your time, but there's two, right?
Go on in. Can't believe he didn't remember Fantastic Journey.
No. I remember Fantastic Voyage.
It's going to
the
eat at
animated
you now.
series.
Yeah.
That was great.
Do you know what?
Combined Miniaturization Defense Force. CMDF.
I watched the documentary at the weekend, and do you know what? When they did a close up of the ship with the models in it, I'd taken a screenshot because I swear to God, one of them looks like Keir Starmer inside the ship.
Might have been him.
So, maybe he'll claim that he was involved in that all those years ago. He certainly claims everything else, doesn't he?
Do you know, I watched a documentary over the weekend about John Candy. It was really good.
Yeah, I watched that.
Oh, looking forward to seeing
What a
that.
sweet man.
It was, yeah. He's, by all accounts, a very nice man. By all accounts.
And again, it's our era.
Yeah, and when John Hughes said that he wrote Trains, Planes, Automobiles for him, and I remember they were talking about that scene where Steve Martin has a go at him in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And he was saying that it's, it was literally, when Candy responds, it's literally what Candy had suffered when he was, when he was growing up and stuff because of his weight and all that. So that's why it worked. So there you go. It's a great documentary. It's a really good documentary.
The Charlie Sheen one, I
haven't
highly
seen that.
recommend.
Yeah, I want to go.
Guys.
I want to see that one. Yeah, I think I will make time to see that one. But,
I mean, there's just some crazy stuff that he comes out about drunk off his head, flying in 1990, flying a jumbo jet with hundreds of people behind him, takes it off autopilot and starts turning it, and they're letting him do it because he's Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, yeah,
it's mental.
But
this is one, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen this one, but this is from my childhood.
Throw it up.
Let's do it. So,
spinning ball of death. Ah, no. Yeah, I remember this.
You remember this?
Yeah. Dogtanian. They made a movie of this. You know that, don't you?
Did they?
Yeah. They made a movie.
There you go, everyone.
About 5 years ago, they made that into a movie.
Oh, really?
5 years ago, yeah.
That.
It was in a cinema and everything, yeah. Dogtanian.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well, it's like a lot of people don't realise there's another couple of seasons of Mysterious Cities of Gold.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good series, mate. As a kid, never missed that. It's so good.
Yeah. There were some really good shows. I mean, there was that one with it was a Japanese cartoon. It was a Japanese puppet show on Sundays.
Starfleet.
That's it, Starfleet. Do you remember that show? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. It had a cracking Brian May intro to it.
Yeah. And also, right, it was very interesting. The storylines were really good. The climax was heartbreaking when they finished it all. Do you remember the climax, Z?
Not off the top of my head, no.
A couple of people got killed. Couple of the main characters got killed in the ending. Yeah. So I was like, wow. So yeah, it was good. I really liked it.
Yeah, Battle of the Planets was another special.
Oh, that was
that was just top drawer stuff. And again, growing up as an 80s kid, you had Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
That was terrible. I liked Spectacular Spider-Man. I thought it was the best Spider-Man. It's the best Spider-Man ever. Even better than the films, in my opinion, the Spectacular Spider-Man. If I was to make a Spider-Man movie, I would make it like that because I think they got everything right in that cartoon.
Is that the 60s one?
No. When was it?
Which one was was that 90s?
When was it, Z?
What was that?
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular, 1997, I think?
Yeah, it's a really good cartoon.
Okay.
Really
okay.
Good.
I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. It might be early 2000s. I think it's more early 2000s, but maybe 2005. Somebody will have to look it up. But
Yeah.
I really love that. Living on the edge, having fun,
Yeah.
flinging webs.
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and again, just I think this is why people are going back and watching stuff from the past now, even if they've never seen it before. You know,
That's true.
because rubbish is coming out now, so they're just going, well, I might as well go and check out that show from 1984, you know, and see what it was like. And they're finding that, you know, maybe the effects might not hold up now, but the writing was really good for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I must put Airwolf on tonight. Come on, Ian. You got a lead character who's called Stringfellow Hawk. How can you not want to watch that, mate?
This is ridiculous. My mum watched all of the episodes of Airwolf, all of them. I'm not kidding. Even when they replaced Stringfellow Hawk with, I think it was.
Yeah, it's bad. I know you mean.
Yeah, she watched every episode. She loves it. My mum loves episodes and TV shows like that. So she'd watch things like The Professionals or Starsky and Hutch. You know, they're kind of comfort shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shows that she was used to. You know, so yeah. I mean, she watched The Saint a couple of days ago, and it was the movie version. It was a black and white film with Roger Moore, and it was The Saint. Do you know what I mean? So she watched that. She loved it. So,
well, it's what I said to you. I did Persuaders a few months ago, didn't I, for the first time?
Persuaders,
and I
great.
loved it.
Yeah,
really
it's a lot
good
of fun.
stuff.
Way ahead of its time, Persuaders, with the humor and everything. I thought,
Yeah.
But it's flopped though, big time.
Yeah.
There you go.
And to everybody, I mean, that's kind of it for tonight. But I just wanted to again thank everyone for being in here. We've got a lot of people in the chat tonight, a lot of people engaging. So thank you very much. If I can sway these two reprobates to come back and do another Monday show, then yeah, we'll do it. And
you'll be lucky.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've got to hope my payment check to them doesn't bounce tonight, to be honest with you. But yeah, again, if you like it, if you love the show tonight, please like it, please share it, please subscribe.
Got a comment as well. Got a comment.
Yeah.
If you can comment, that'd be great as well.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, well, we don't care. We're just still coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, stuff you.
Yeah, get lost. Go on.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, until next time, have a safe week, everybody. I just wanted to say before we go, just to let you know about what other stuff we're doing. So here, Sunday nights, if you're not aware, we do a Stargate SG1 watch party where we watch it live in Discord, and then we comment along in the YouTube live chat, which is great fun. I also want to say, if you haven't already, check out The Sense Sphere. It's a Doctor Who channel on YouTube. It's really good. So they do some great stuff. And I also want to say, check out The Brain Show on a Saturday night on YouTube, and the Popcast, which does great documentaries about aliens, Star Trek, and other stuff. I also want to turn it over to Ian, because Ian, to tell us about Rebecca Gold.
No, well, all I can say is Rebecca Gold is probably gonna come out in December now. But also, yeah, well, there you go. Also, you know, John's mentioned other channels. You know, do tune into Type 40. They do good Doctor Who stuff as well. Also, Brown Alliance every Sunday night. He's really good. Me and Z are usually on it anyway, and it's a lot of fun talking about nonsense as well. So, but I'd just like to thank everybody that's actually joined us. We didn't really advertise this too much, and it's nice that people will come and, you know, comment and stuff like that. And you know, we kind of respect you guys. And also just if you can, subscribe to Rebecca Gold channel. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Make sure you check it out. I mean, Ian, tell us just before we go on to Z and where Z can be found on other places as well. Tell us about Rebecca Gold. Tell everybody about it so that what it is without spoiling it.
Well, Rebecca Gold was a web series, 5-episode series about an assassin who sort of bumps into a high school crush, And the movie basically is the continuation of that story, right? But with a different actress playing the main character. So you have to suspend your disbelief to believe that's the same character. But if you can get over that, you'll really enjoy the movie. Movie should be coming out beginning of December. It should be played to all the people that contributed to. I want to say thank you to them first. They're going to be the first people to see it. If they can't make the screening, they'll get a special code that they can watch it on YouTube, and only they can watch it on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? It's not open to the public. And then after that, it will be open to the public, because the people that helped are the most important people that I should say thank you to. Do you know what I mean? So there you go.
Yep. Brilliant. And Z, anywhere else that you can be found?
I can be found all over the place on the Trevor Retro channel, on the Mr. Brown Alliance, and whoever decides to have me. I'm a dirty little bitch. I'll go anywhere.
You heard it here first,
He
guys.
really will. He really will.
I really will. You drop me a line, I'll come on and drop a hat. Make your day. Love you long time. Only $10.
Give him $10. He said he wants.
Yeah, exactly. But until next time, take care, everyone, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers,
Bye,
all.
everybody.